Hey all, it's me again, and continuing on with my history with the SEGA Master System. Well, you know what? I'm really pleased with it actually. Quite a lot of people have been quite interested in this, and I always thought it's a good thing to put a bit of yourself into a video. Now, that's what I've been thinking anyway, and here I am, just basically saying, hey, look, these are the games that I used to play on the Master System, and this is where I played them and how I played them. So yeah, thanks for watching these and amongst many other videos as well. I like to reiterate, I don't do things for likes or subscribers. I don't really care. It's just nice when people acknowledge what you do. Um, haven't got around to switching back to my HyperX quadcast. Still using the Blue Yeti because I can't be asked to move it. It's much more convenient at the moment. Doesn't sound as good as the HyperX, but we'll get there in the end. So anyway, as always, I digress. I'm obviously feeling a lot better after. It must have been COVID. Nasty 3 days. I was completely out for the count for pretty much. So again, I'm digressing. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, Martin, and get on with it. Okay. So this next one. This one's got some real nostalgic memories for me. I'll just pop it up for you. It's XENON 2. It's XENON 2 on the Master System, and it is this actual ImageWorks version that I remember fondly. Okay, the Virgin version is identical. There's nothing different about it. It's different publishers as far as I'm aware. So the years, what? This was released in 1991. I think it was towards the end of 1991, around about October, something like that. I think I got it around that point, or maybe a few months after. And where was I living then? I was living in Edenbridge in Kent. And Edenbridge had some fantastic shops back then. I mean, you look at it now and it's just all cafes, like most places now. Nothing's like it used to be. So there used to be a BWISE, okay, in Edenbridge many years ago, and I think it was where Budgeons used to be. Or maybe actually it wasn't Edenbridge I bought this from, but we'll get to this in a second because there is actually a direct link to Edenbridge. It actually might have been Tonbridge, I think, when I got this. Tonbridge BWISE. And it was in a bucket, in the bargain bins, and I think it was about £5 at the time. And obviously I pestered my mum at the time. I think I must have been about, I don't know, 14? Yeah, I would have been about 14 then. Pardon me. To me, this was like the definitive version. I thought it was as good as like the Amiga version. I don't know why, young minds and all that sort of thing. But I played this to death, and I can't remember. I don't think the ARM or cheat works on this version. It does on the Mega Drive version, where basically, as long as you can, if you on the Mega Drive version, when you put in, you get a certain score, a high score, and then put in your initials as ARM, and then when you play another game, get a slightly less score and OUR, so armor, and then you get invincibility. It's playthrough. Great, eh? I like that. It's real good ingenuity. Whether that was from the Bitmap brothers themselves or whether it was from, well, it had to be really. I mean, but who knows? So anyway, picked this up. I think it was in Tonbridge. And then funnily enough, there was a little shop in Edenbridge back in, what was that, 1991, wasn't it? I think, something like that. And it was called the Swap Shop. Okay, now if any of you watching this know Edenbridge at all, if you know where BWISE used to be, so that's, if you're coming from Eden Valley School, which, well, I went for about a year and a half, it's no longer fucking there. I was fucking surprised, honestly. So my old school doesn't exist anymore, okay? So I'm one of the few people that went to a school that doesn't exist anymore. Nice. But you head out towards, if you're going towards Hever, like Hever way and Cowden, East Grinstead, I guess, that kind of way. As you're coming out of the town, on the left, there's these shops that are slightly dipped down. And there's a shop called the Swap Shop. And their business was literally you could bring a game in and swap it for another. There was none of this so I could bring that in and swap it for anything else really. I think they did have a certain, they wouldn't have done anything that, like, say this was a £5 game and you wanted Wonder Boy 3, which was 40 quid. They weren't going to let you do that, but they gave you some leeway as well. But if it was like for prices, you could swap it out for another game, and that was their business. I think that's fucking fantastic. You know, these days ain't going to happen because, well, you know, for various different reasons, people just want to make money. That's how it is. But back then, you could do a straight swap for swap. There's none of this, oh, I'll get some CEX credit for a game that's £5 or whatever, and then swap it for a game, another game. You don't need receipts to do it. You just literally went in the shop and went, I want to swap this for this. Well, if I remember rightly, I swapped this for Kung Fu Kid again. So, yeah. But anyway, XENON 2 Megablast on the SEGA Master System. A great little game. I'm sure if you haven't played it, or if you have played it, you'll know that the flicker in this is awful at certain points. But I think it's a faithful representation of the Amiga original. Do you? Leave your comments below. Anyway, let's, as always, get into some footage of this great little game. I won't play too much of it because the sound is pretty bad on your ears. But anyway, XENON 2 Megablast on the SEGA Master System. One of my favourite memories from back in the day in Edenbridge. And that's all those Edenbridge crew that are out there, that if anyone from Edenbridge happens to watch this and remembers the swap shop, because I fucking do and I fucking loved it. Anyway, on to the gameplay. See you on the next one. See you later.